It's the Weather Xtreme video. This is the morning edition for Wednesday, March 30th. I'm James Spann. We stayed dry today, but severe storms threaten Alabama tomorrow night, into Friday for parts of the state. Then colder air for the weekend with cold nights, maybe a touch of frost in spots early Sunday morning. Much to discuss, so let's roll with it. This is water vapor satellite view. Big trough in the western states. Anytime you see that in late March, you really have to watch those things lifting out for severe weather and flooding potential. Temperatures this morning as cool as 42 in Gadsden, Birmingham 54. We'll be well up in the 70s today, and we might be flirting with 80 tomorrow if we see a break in the rain and the sun breaks out for a while, which is possible. Around the nation, very cold air flooding in behind the system in the western states, and again, we'll catch some of that this weekend. Nights will be pretty chilly, especially Saturday night, early Sunday morning. On the watch warning map, winter storm warnings for parts of Wyoming, even a blizzard warning for a few counties there. And just west of the state, we have a flash flood watch for the northern half of Mississippi and some of the adjacent parts of Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana. No flash flood watches for our state at this point. One could be required later. Convective outlooks. This is the day one outlook. And there is an enhanced risk for cities like Dallas, Fort Worth, Shreveport, Greenville, Mississippi. The slight risk runs as far north as Kansas City, almost up to Des Moines. A marginal risk extends into extreme West Alabama. And keep in mind, this outlook runs through 7 a.m. tomorrow. We could see some strong storms slipping into West Alabama after midnight tonight. But clearly during the day today, the big problem's off to the west. The higher tornado probabilities are clustered around Greenville, Jackson, Vicksburg, Mississippi, Monroe, Louisiana. And obviously our friends there will be watching the sky very carefully. Now, tomorrow, you can see we've got a risk of severe storms all the way from the Gulf Coast up to near Chicago, Indianapolis, and Detroit. The higher probabilities are in an enhanced risk over much of Mississippi and some of the adjacent states. This is the risk for Alabama. And keep in mind, this is for tomorrow night, into very early Friday morning. There is an enhanced risk basically along and west of US 43 in West Alabama, the far western side of the state. The standard slight risk is up basically to the Georgia border and all the way down to Mobile. And then on day 3, which is Friday, we've still got active storms from the Gulf Coast up to the Atlantic coast in our state. And again, this kicks in Friday morning at 7. The standard slight risk is south of a line from near Demopolis to Jemison to Wedowee, with a marginal risk up to Interstate 59. But clearly during the day Friday, the better chance of severe weather down across the southern half of the state. And let's not forget, we're going to see a lot of rain. This is the QPF coming from the guys at WPC, and this is basically suggesting rain amounts between 3 and 5 inches. I'm not so sure we get this much. We might. Most of the numerical weather prediction models not showing this much, but this could certainly open up the door for some flooding problems. In fact, this is the day 2 excessive rain outlook, a slight risk of some flooding problems. And again, this is kind of like the severe weather outlooks, but we'll have to watch for flooding issues as well. So let's see if we can sort this out. This is a pretty complex setup here. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid today at 1 o'clock. There's your western trough. Down below that, 996 millibar low is over Nebraska. And clearly that is a severe weather look for East Oklahoma, East Texas, east of Interstate 35, Arkansas, Louisiana, into Mississippi this afternoon and tonight. In fact, this is tonight, just after midnight, 1 a.m. tomorrow. The surface low is near Des Moines. And at that point, the storms could be creeping into West Alabama. And they could be strong, but it may be severe, but I really think that they should be weakening as they creep in here after midnight. Still, we'll have to watch the weather during the late night shift, overnight. Then tomorrow, the surface low is north of Chicago, 989 millibars with showers and storms in here. And I think what's going to happen, we'll probably see a morning round of storms, an early morning round, then a midday break. And if the sun can break out, And that'll push us up toward 80, and the air gets very unstable. We could see some of the highest instability values we've seen this year easily. But let's kind of look at some of the severe weather parameters. We'll start with the low-level jet. This is tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. You know, the numbers are still pretty high. Clearly, the big numbers have lifted out, but still, we've got a low-level jet of 40 to 50 knots, and that is sufficient for severe weather. And that will be strengthening tomorrow night. It weakens during the day, then it strengthens tomorrow night. So, it could be the main threat would be maybe after 6 or 7 o'clock tomorrow evening as the low-level jet strengthens and we still have unstable air. This is the instability at 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. And again, it's got these little holes in there where the model thinks rain will be falling and the air will be stable. And this is going to remain a mystery. And I'll just say the NAM has not had a good grasp on the severe weather events the last couple of go-rounds. We know that. But I would not be shocked if the values might even be higher than what we see here. I think that will be the most impressive part of this, of the parameters. It's the instability. We might see numbers exceeding 2,500 joules if the sun breaks out and we heat up tomorrow evening. Storm relative helicity values, those are fairly robust. This is 0 to 1 kilometer, and that could set the stage for some rotating updrafts. Look at the STP, the significant tornado parameter. This is a composite index that takes into account shear, instability, and some other things, but you can see and by the way, this is at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And I'm sorry, make that 10 o'clock tomorrow night. I keep forgetting we're back on daylight saving time. This is 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And those numbers ramp up to about 3 to 4 units. In fact, the max in there is actually a 4.6 over northeast Mississippi and northwest Alabama. And then this is 1 a.m. Friday, and the numbers are still fairly high over the northern third of the state. And this is a look at the projected reflectivity tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. And the one thing I think we'll see with the morning mass of storms is going to be a big mass of rain. We have the break midday, and when the new storms form, they will be cellular, not a big mass and not linear. And that would open up the door for some rotating storms. So we'll kind of open up the window, we'll say 3 to midnight, the main risk. And understand there could be a few strong storms early in the morning with that morning batch. But during that window, we could see some storms with large hail, damaging winds, and possibly a few tornadoes. We hope severe weather will be a no-show this time, but we sure can't guarantee that. And you know the deal. If you watch this video, you're plugged in, but be sure others are aware of the risk. All right, let's go to Friday. Dry air works into North Alabama. And understand the models are slower. We could see some rain lingering through Friday morning for places like Birmingham. And then by Friday afternoon, the better chance of strong storms shifting down into South Alabama. And again, those could be severe. I think the main threat Friday over South Alabama will be from straight line winds and maybe some hail. Saturday, we are dry. Saturday morning we'll be down in the 40s. No frost issues at that point, and the high will be in the mid-60s. The sky will be sunny. And Sunday, a beautiful day. So for the weekend, bright sunny weather Saturday and Sunday with highs in the 60s. Again, here's low Saturday morning, 40s. But Sunday morning, the GFS is printing 39 at Birmingham, 37 up in Huntsville. And again, clearly with a clear sky, calm wind, the valleys and typically the colder spots, radiation cooling will kick in, and we could see some frost and maybe some of the colder pockets running down toward freezing. So growers beware. The morning to watch is Sunday. Monday, beautiful day, sunny with a high in the low 70s. We stay dry Tuesday, although a reinforcing surge of cooler air drops in here at 10:35 high. That's pretty cold. By golly, that'll drop us down in the low 60s, and this is Wednesday. Northwest flow aloft, the dry air mass. The GFS is printing a low of 41 Wednesday morning, and again, we could see some more 30s for the colder pockets. This is why we always say don't plant anything that might be harmed by a frost or freeze until after April 15th. You've heard me preach that how many times in recent weeks. This is the end of the forecast period, the end of next week, Friday, the 8th of April. Zonal flow, a front approaching from the north. Might bring some rain in here, but doesn't look like a severe weather threat. Temperatures April 6th through April 12th, near average here. And the numbers, again, I think those bottom numbers, the lows, will be lower, especially Sunday morning and maybe Wednesday morning of next week, with some 30s possible. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video today. We'll have notes in the blog. Next video here by 4 o'clock this afternoon. If you can't catch us this evening on the live stream or the television side, ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and God bless.